Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. So today is a little bit different of a video. Normally I have all kinds of fun progress and cool things that I've added to the world. Um, I have added a lot of things to the world, but you guys might not think it is as fun. I think it was really fun, but well, we'll just get into it. So obviously, the world tour is coming up next episode, episode 50, and it is going to be incredible. I'm so excited about it because there is so much to update on this world in the past, who knows how long. I guess a year or two since I've done the last video, and that would make this world 8 coming on 9 years old coming up. So been playing on this world for a long time, and so I'm really excited about that to share with you guys. But as with anything, over 8 or 9 years, a lot of stuff gets outdated and needs updated, I guess, if that's a good word for it. For example, like torches. Not that torches are outdated, but one of the big projects that I did was replacing all of these like lamp posts with actual lamps and not just torches. And so that's kind of like a theme that I have going through here, not just these like little lamp posts, but kind of like this almost like fence design coming through here like this. So I have these going through like throughout like all of the city through here, like these little kind of like fence barrier things. And I didn't replace the torches on the buildings and the mine, by the way, but any of like the walkways. So I put these like little lamps and stuff. And let me tell you, I went through, I think it was 5 stacks of iron, which is insane. That's how many of these I put. Now it's becoming daylight, so it won't be as interesting to look at those, but obviously there's other things to look at. But so yeah, I went through 4 or 5 stacks of iron, and that is just crazy. How many of these lanterns I put throughout the world. But I really think that it makes it look better. I really do. So you can just see them kind of all throughout. And Mervin the merchant is always hanging out over here. I don't know why. Who's going to buy gray dye? That's so strange. But that was a big project, of course, doing all that. Another thing that I did was I went through and planted grass everywhere. So like I did this like little grass and tall grass, and I got rid of all the flowers. And that's just something like a personal preference that I have. I don't think that Minecraft flowers, they do look good. I shouldn't say that. They look good, but I don't think that they look good like scattered throughout like grassy areas. I prefer just like regular grassy kind of like plains areas, if that makes any sense. And so what I did was I went everywhere that had grass, and I took and bone mealed, like a lot of it was up there. I took and bone mealed it and got rid of all the flowers, and that took so many hours. You wouldn't believe how many hours. I did a lot of area up on the cliff up here near the Mages College, because it didn't have like anything like that. And that's a relatively new thing that I've been doing, is that grass kind of technique. And this all this area is really old. Like this mountain range that I built this probably like 4 or 5 years ago. And so all this had to be grassified, if that's a decent term for it. And so that took a long time. Another many-hour project. Let's see if we can get a good view from up here. This is a pretty cool view of this side of the city, if the dang courthouse wasn't in the way. But it looks really cool from this side. Eventually, I'm going to work on that dark oak forest and make that something really cool. That's an older area, too, that I had to add a lot of grass, but all that. And let's see, what else did I do? I updated a lot of the paths and things like that, and made them cohesive, where I do like the avenues are, this texture, the roads and the streets are like the dirt path, and then they have like the stair steps is this wood pattern. And so I updated that everywhere. And speaking of like the roads, I updated all the road signs, and so all of those are cohesive along with all of the building names, addresses, and all of the citizen names. So if you didn't know, let me just pop it up on the screen. I keep like an Excel spreadsheet with every single citizen in this world, at least current day citizen. Obviously in the lore we go into past stuff, but they'll be in the world too. But I keep a logbook of every single citizen and every single building and house has an address. Every single street has a name. And so, like Greenhouse, the new one, for example, is on 928 Main Avenue. This is Main Avenue. This is the mail room, so that's where I keep all of the addresses. Also, I make a backup and put it into there as well as my Excel sheet. But like Riverside Inn, it's got like people living in it. So not only does it have that address, but it has, like the apartment number or unit number. Harkley, Unit 3. Dern, for Dern's Dies, Unit 5. Dr. Cripps. I don't know wait, what is Dr. Cripps' business? I'll have to look into that. And most of them I have memorized over time where each person lives and what their business is, because I like interacting and being immersed in this world. And I feel like most people don't play Minecraft like me with kind of the way that I go about it. I like, not that Minecraft in itself is not very realistic, but you can kind of trend that way. So I like to make it as realistic as possible. And that honestly helps me with inspiration. And people ask me all the time, like, how do you stay inspired to build on this one world for this many years? It's because of things like this, like the lore and the and like doing all the interiors, making it livable like a real city. So like I look at it as like, well, what would a real city need? Like a real city would need a mailroom, so I built a mailroom. A real city would need a restaurant, so I did that. A real city would need an importation and exportation office, so I did that down here on the docks. Like, real cities operate and function like that. And so why can't a Minecraft city operate and function like that and have life to it? And that's what really keeps me inspired. And I really don't ever take breaks on this world. Maybe I'll go like a couple weeks off every couple of years, which is an insane thing to say, but like I just stay inspired with it through like projects like this and stuff like that. But with all that being said, sorry, that was kind of long-winded, but sometimes you also need episodes like this just to update like all of the stuff. And I did a lot of other miscellaneous random things too, like just adding different blocks and updating them. But one of the last big projects that I did, and one that I'm going to be going forward continuing, is separation of storage rooms. So of course I have my big major storage room underneath the castle keep under there, but that's just going to be bulk storage. From now on, like I'm going to have most of my storage out in these other random buildings. So like the greenhouse, for example, now it has all of my greenhouse products, all of my vegetation and crops and different things like that. They're all stored here. All of my dyes and things like that, they're over at Dern's Dyes. All of my nether supplies, they're in the nether surplus store. My baked goods are over here. And slowly I'm incorporating all of this into these buildings to make them more lifelike and useful. The being bar, that's just a bar. But the candle shop obviously is having all the wax and all of the candles. And so, yeah, I just try to make it even more realistic and lifelike. Like these buildings, I don't want them to just be a facade. I want to use them regularly. And it would make sense that a dye shop would sell dyes. And so that's where I keep my dyes. Anytime I need them, I go in here and get them. And yeah, I don't know. I just feel like that makes a lot of sense to me. But with that, let's get on into the final lore reading of this kind of season, I guess. Yeah, I'm excited for next season. Got a lot of fun plans, that is for sure. Obviously still on this world. I'll never leave this world. It'll always be this world. But just a new season of lore, I should say, I guess. All right, here we go. In December of 5102, Tibbert Shortlegs and the Red Flag were finally able to reveal their grand discovery. Set center stage of the courthouse was Shortlegs, King Oscar Torque, and the 5 judges. Surrounding them were all of Calagero's citizens crammed into the halls of the building soon to be revealed. All assuming the great hope was true that a cure for the zombie disease was found. However, to their surprise, when the blanket lifted over, They saw before them a sort of crossbow with a glowing green arrow. In a daze of confusion, all of the onlookers watched as Shortlegs picked up the weapon and shot the king right in his shoulder. Everyone gasped in panic, and within seconds, the once dreaded king now took the form of a zombie. The king's guards rushed in to disarm Shortlegs, but the red flag henchmen intercepted them before they could. Tibbert then pointed the weapon at the crowd, saying, "Silence." They all fearfully complied. Sorry, I can't read. He paused for a brief second before stating, "A new era in this kingdom has begun, an era of prosperity and peace. We will no longer live in fear, but pride in who we are and what we have accomplished." While saying this, one of the red flag's subordinates pulls out a flask and tosses the substance on the now zombified king. To everyone's amazement, it cured him nearly in an instant. The red flag had also discovered the cure as well, it seems. However, poor King Torque, seeing his kingship taken from him in such a way, passed later that month due to sheer grief and sadness. Who will be the new king, and what will come of these discoveries made by the red flag? Find out in the next episode of Minecraft.